Hi, Clive Evans, Youth Soul Partnership here. Let's get straight into it today. We're going to talk about time, and we're going to talk about scheduling, and we're going to talk about taking time, because all these are all important things to help you plan your dream life. Try this. Plan. What does it mean? Well, it means that you've got some sort of process to get from A to B. Scheduling should help you actually determine when you do what and how. And let's go back to my wonderful friend Anrik Blatt's Venn diagrams. You knew I was going to go there, because if you're going to try and get to your dream life, which I really hope you are, it's all about this again, isn't it? The Venn diagram says, okay, find out what matters to you. Find out what you can control in your life. Get to the things where both of those occupy the same space, and they're really the things you should concentrate on. And I think you'll find that most of that revolves around time and money. You might think you can control all sorts of other things. You earn your money because of your employer. Your job could vanish tomorrow. So that's not in your control. Concentrate on working on the things within your control. And once you've decided what those are, then the next key issue is scheduling. And scheduling a dream life could be a bit difficult in your head. It's so big, isn't it? You know, it's like eating an elephant. You've got to take it apart piece by piece. But the important part is you might want to slow down and think about it a bit. Because if it's going to be really worthwhile, it's worth taking some time. Might be worth getting somebody in to help you. I wonder who that could be. And you might want to understand that time often makes things better. So I'm not saying don't schedule anything. I'm saying schedule in the time. Let me explain what I mean. A plan is what, a schedule is when. It takes both a plan and a schedule to get things done. In our experience, the problem with many people's plans is they never follow them through to the end. The schedule doesn't allow that. The schedule makes them go, I've got 3 years through this, so I'm going to stop. What's this got to do with photography? Absolutely everything, because these things make you slow down. Most of you are used to taking photographs with this thing. Tiny compared with that. Instant gratification. What's this all about? Well, 50 years ago, no, longer than that. Yeah, 50 a bit years ago, I was a photographer at the Royal Aircraft Establishment in Farnborough, using cameras like this on a daily basis. These days, people use them to produce what's called fine art photography. It's stuff like the thing on the wall behind me. That was shot on a Polaroid 20x24 camera, which is 5 times as big as this. And this is the one original photograph that it took of me in the car. Process is a bit quicker than this, because I'm about to describe to you just how long it takes to take a photograph using this thing. First of all, what we do is we have to look through the camera and actually ensure that the scene we want is what we want. We just have to get here, set it up on a tripod, put it all together. You can't cart it about and go, that's what I want to photograph. Now we have to look through the back of the camera to make sure that it's all right, to set up the image, to frame it properly, and to focus it on the back of the camera, the actual real back of the camera where the film goes, using this thing. We then close the back of the camera, so that's shut. We close the lens again, so that's shut, and we decide we're going to take a photograph. We have to measure the exposure with an exposure meter. That tells us how much light's on the subject. We can put that into the calculator on the meter here and dial the right things into the front of the camera, shutter speed and aperture. We're now ready to take a photograph, and I described that pretty quickly. Now what we're going to do is put the film in. We're going to put the film in the back of the camera. It's in this dark slide, which I'll show you again in a minute. And once we take this piece out here, the film is ready to be exposed. It's the back of the camera. We set the shutter again. We make sure our subject is right. If there's anybody in it, we get them to get ready. We go, give us your very best. This is key. And boy, do people respect these cameras. And you go, photograph taken. We put the dark slide back in, and now we can take the film magazine out of the camera again. And that's our photograph taken. The film is this big. It's big, 5 inches by 4. Why am I telling you this? Because that's just part of the process. You see, now it has to go to the lab, or you have to do it yourself. I've got a little lab here that I use. And this is the process. It's got to go and expose. You've done that. You've got a latent image on the film. The film has to be developed. And that's usually at a lab, or you do it yourself. And then you have to put the negative in an enlarger or in a contact printing machine and make a print. And then you have to develop that. And then you have something wonderful, which is a real photographic print. Command big money, real photographic prints, collector's items. What the hell has all this got to do with what you're doing? Because you could use this. Instant gratification. But what this does is force you to really think about it. By the way, each slab of film with the processing and all the rest of it costs about $10. So you're not going to do a load of these, are you? You see, the bit it teaches you to do is slow down. You slow down and look. You slow down and make sure it's the right photograph. You're really selective about what you do. And you know, the interesting thing, if you do this with people, which I've done a lot of, you photograph them with one of these cameras, they take it very seriously. You can get a wonderful portrait with just 2 exposures because you really concentrate on everything, the two of you. So try this. This is really what I'm trying to teach you here. Slow down, calm down, don't worry, don't hurry, trust the process. That's what you have to do here. So, scheduling. Don't panic. Slow down. Take some time and understand the big difference. The key thing is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. What's your priority? Is a dream life your priority? In which case you have to schedule some action and some time. Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Because remember, here's the key issue here, where everybody thinks we're talking about money. We're not really. The goal isn't money. It's not more money. It's living life on your terms. And with that, I bid you adieu until next week.